for me, what I felt was something that, as a board member sitting in this seat, I felt both intimidated and potentially bullied.
Marla Madera.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Marla Madera. I'm a light rail supervisor. I have worked for TRIMET for 34.5 years. I primarily trained rail controllers, but I also created the first bus dispatch training curriculum and assisted training rail and road supervisors. I did that job for 13 years until I became very sick and took leave from work in 2011. I remained on disability until November 2015. But upon my return a year ago, I was told that I could no longer be the trainer I was. Sorry, I get really emotional about this. Because it wasn't in my official title when I left. And management didn't care about my personal situation or my experience. So I was informed that I had to go back to a previous job I held as a light rail supervisor back in 1997. I have kept my attitude joyful and embraced doing something that I once loved. I have written all about becoming sick and getting my miracle and coming back to work after 4.5 years in my book called Receiving My Healing. It's available on Amazon. But my joy has been difficult to hang on to. I struggle every day of my life right now trying to stay focused on my faith and my belief system. I do not want to give in to this fear that I have out on the job and the anger that I have towards TRIMET right now. The world is different than it was in 1997, especially the way TRIMET treats its employees, and the things I now face on any given day are very scary, especially when I rarely feel supported by management. This job is affecting my personal life. As you can see, I cry a lot. But even when I think about getting my real job back, I wonder about everyone else. How are the rest of the supervisors and the cleaners going to be safe and supported? Who's protecting them? Who's going to have their back if and when something goes wrong out in the field? Management? I don't think so. No way. I was fascinated last week when I saw that TRIMET posted an opening for a trainer position in field operations because they need trainers. Yeah, my job. I held that position for 13 years, and they wouldn't let me do that job again. They are giving it a new title now. They're simply calling it a trainer. Genius. But I'm not allowed to have that job because my title was different when I did the exact same job. TRIMET spent a lot of time and money making sure I did well as a trainer, and I did it very good. For heaven's sake, I wrote the curriculum for most of that job. But they don't care. The union asked TRIMET to just change my title to trainer and put me to work. But TRIMET doesn't see it that way, and they don't want to work with the union on anything these days. I broke down in Shirley's office last week over this situation because that's what's wrong with TRIMET right now. They don't treat me like I'm a person who has given most of my life to this agency. They treat me like I'm a problem that they wish would just go away. That's not the TRIMET I started working for in 1982, and it's certainly not the TRIMET of 2016. Every day I have to face hidden threats and wonder, is this going to be the day that I get beat up? This treatment of employees and lack of support must stop. I'm not holding my breath waiting because I'm just one example of how current management is unwilling to treat TRIMET workers like human beings. I'm available tomorrow to start working my job.